So that was welcome back. Topic part 2. Great Scott Marcus, Ramble Entertainment, blah blah blah. So that was actually the thing I wanted to touch on next. And there is that other point from the original topic that I also want to touch on. I mentioned kind of like they said something dumb, so we stopped hanging out with them. That whole like having to be as cool as possible. Like I say okie dokie now. Like I'm so much happier not having to be like the cool or being couth or shit like that. Like it's so unimportant, and having things in common is so much important. Hell, that's why we connected, not just because we were tools, but because you were one of the first people in a long time that we actually had these games in common.
Mm-hmm.
The people I was even living with didn't play games like I did. And
you're really one of the first people I like legitimately played online with.
Yep.
Like seriously, one of the first. I think I might have played online with like one or two other people, I think.
And and if it wasn't for you, and maybe like one other person that I can think of off the top of my head, I would not have enjoyed Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer and probably advanced myself as a gamer and, becoming a more mature gamer without you. So thanks, because like I play multiplayer now, and I still love it just as much. But without someone, it's a lot easier to just be like, whatever, and just walk away from it, or go play a different game, or go play something that isn't PvP. It's like the things that matter are the things that matter to you that you can share with other people that don't hurt others. I remember some people deserved it, but I also remember sometimes when we were walking home, like point at someone and laugh, and like say something dumb because it just seemed so cool to do. But like then you're making that person feel bad, and it's just like. I always felt bad about that, even though like we were laughing about it and enjoying ourselves. Like I always actually did feel bad about it. That one time when we were reciting, this time we weren't trying to like insult anybody. We were just reciting lines from the Jersey Shore, and that one guy. Because
James.
Because he wanted to be cool, he like wanted to fight us about it.
I don't remember that.
Oh,
I remember yelling like T-shirt time. And
yeah.
That,
I
don't remember a guy trying to fight us.
That was the kind of stuff that was happening, and there was a guy that was like pretty far away, like at least I would say. So I'm going to do this in meters, so I might be a bit off. About 30 meters away with a girl, and he's like, we're yelling this stuff pretty generally, not in anybody's particular direction, and.
Probably just yelled "fucking skanks" and that.
No, it wasn't anything like that. It was like T-shirt time, or it was literally something innocuous. And he turns around and he's like, "What?" And the girl,
not at all.
the girl like gets in front of him and she's like, "No," and yeah, we were actually just talking about how like, does this guy want to fight us? And so we started pushing it. We kept saying, "Cabs are here," like dumb stuff
he
like that.
He probably thought we were like making fun of him for looking like a Jersey Shore douche or something.
Maybe. But like, we were just having fun at the time. And
yeah, we got Apollo's that night, didn't we?
I know we went.
I remember we walked a decent distance away from the bar, and we were at Tuna.
I don't know where we were, but at the very least, we were walking past Bento Go when it was still Bento Go. Anyway,
where were we going?
We were going home at that point. I don't know where we had come from. We might have been at Bento that night, but whatever.
Who knows?
So if you got nothing else to that, the other one I really want to touch on is stop it. Stop pining after people. That guy or that chick that you're so interested in, it's really not that big a deal. Like that look you exchanged from across the room, doesn't matter. Like if you want someone to be in a relationship with, then you should just be comfortable with yourself first. Like be you. I should have been like, I like video games and I like my alone time, and I also like just sitting down with others and talking about politics and socioeconomic issues and things like that, instead of being like, I'm cool and I'm gonna have a dance off and drink and be like awesome and shit like that.
You participated in dance offs?
I would sometimes try to dance. This was not in front of you at the time, and yeah, like, just be comfortable with yourself and who you are, and, like, that chick or that dude you pine after, like, that is not important, and shouldn't be an important thing, and I feel like comes from an immature mentality within, especially suburban society, where it's just like, oh yeah, you gotta have, like, a girlfriend, and eventually you'll have a waifu, and, you'll have children, and I'm doing that in Asian accent.
Children,
waifu!
A waifu.
And you get a waifu, and
suburban.
yeah, it feels like a very suburban mentality to have, and it should be killed off sooner than college. And I always ran into other people who were like me, and it's just like, oh yeah, I'm into this chick, and I'm like, I'm into that chick, and it's just like, oh my god,
chicks rule.
Yeah, and it was so unimportant. And I really wish I had spent less time caring about that stuff and more time just enjoying a video game or a show or a movie in front of me, or, working on the homework that was in front of me, or shit like that. And it's just like... And there's tons of people who do that. And I'm so happy I've moved past that.
I'm not sure I have much to say about it. We're coming from two different perspectives here too. I mean, you've been with Jen for how long now?
Coming on 2 years in October, and I get that. I am also outside of being single, but I also entered into a phase of my life for the first 2 years of my pain trip, where I was just like, I can't be with anyone. So I'm going to be comfortable with myself. And I played a shit ton of games, and I, did a lot of stuff that was for me, and it was better than, like, being in this spot where it was just like, I have to care what people think, and I have to be interested in a chick, and, like, it's unimportant. It's, to stumble upon it is so much easier. This is
nicer.
This is one of those things where it's like, oh man, that song came on and it made me think about her, and like, I should feel something because I'm hearing the song right now. It's meaningful. It's like, it's not. It doesn't matter. It's like, so like, here's another good one. When my sister passed away, I was very level about it most of the time, or at least when I was in front of most people, because it was just like, it happened, it was coming for a bit, there was nothing that could really be done. Where will I benefit from being incredibly upset and distraught? Unfortunately, I won't. I will be upset and distraught when it feels right, and then I'm going to try and just handle it. And it's kind of like, it's a lot like that, where it's just like, you get a lot more out of what's around you when you're just like, it is what it is until it's something else. And while it's this, I get to be doing this, which I enjoy, and this, which I enjoy, and over here, I'm working on something. I don't enjoy it, but you know what? I got these things around me, and that thing that was in my head about that chick doesn't even matter, because she's now with another guy. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying my game. I'm enjoying this movie, and this essay sucks, but you know what? That's all I got to deal with. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to step outside yourself for yourself. And that sounds loaded, but you know what?
Yeah.
It's actually quite simple.
I mean, it's getting things together here.
Use your words.
I do agree. You gotta kind of learn to love yourself before you can love others. You get to know yourself and do things for yourself and blah, blah, blah before you should really...
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah's law blog. You, sir, are a mouthful. Arrested Development, if anybody's watching this.
Blah, blah, blah's law blog.
There's a few more of it. I can't think of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was trying to think of them too when I first said it, and I was just like,
Lob's Law Bomb.
yeah, oh my god.
Oh, so good. Anyways,
he was one of the funniest things to come out of Arrested Development. Like,
that was so good.
Sometimes I'd go an entire episode without a laugh, but like whenever he was on an episode, I'd be, yes.
It took me forever to realize that his name was Bob Loblaw, and I thought they were just saying blah blah blah.
Yeah, I know. I thought that at first too. I was like, what?
So good. So good.
What?
Watch Arrested Development. It's amazing.
It's good.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But and I've been in and out of relationships over the past X amount of years now.
A lot more than me. Yeah.
For a long time, I've dated around since I was 16. I'm 29 now. It's been 13 years, and
he should be tested.
Tested for what?
Sexiness.
Yes, and and I've never really had like a long-term relationship. I mean, I think the last one was Steph, and we were kind of on and off for about 2 years, mostly on, like 2 bouts of being off. But and she's 30 now. I'm 29. It's like if you don't know yourself by that point, like that's where I'm getting this. I feel like I've grown, like I've matured enough, like through all these relationships, through college, through multiple jobs. Like I know who I am as a person,
and also a learning event.
I'm sorry.
And also a learning event.
Everything's a learning event, no matter like what it is, whether it's tragic, happy, who I'm seeing, who I'm not seeing. My job is a learning event. Like I've come to the realization, like I want to do something similar to this, but not this forever. So like I like to believe I've got a fairly solid grasp on who I am as a person. Now, do I pine for people?
Yes, you did. You did with one particular person. I'm not going to say their name. Starts with an E, but there was a long while where that was just this central focus.
Does it start with a B?
E.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. God, I forgot about that.
How could you forget those days were hell for me?
Her and I are pretty like we're just cool anymore. Like,
I get that, but like back when, but
that was years ago too. And
yes, and that's the point. But like
have these infatuations like that. But I'm saying like currently like. Because
that's part of like getting past that, and
that's part of maturing.
Like to recognize it sooner would have just been so nice. And
hindsight's always 20/20.
But that hindsight can occur sooner, and it's just like again, if I had watched this in college, maybe I would have gained some insight about myself. Or to those who are watching it or would watch and are in college, maybe you can gain some insight about yourself too. Where it's just like you can just chill and like there are billions of people right now. Your odds are great. Like
good point. I think I was talking to my mom the other day about like marriage and kids and stuff, and I'm just like, no, like I can see myself being married, but like having kids, no. And I was like, well, she's like, I understand where you're coming from, but I need to say that like it's like when my mom had my sister, she was like she didn't realize like she was ready until she was ready, but like in terms of relationships now, I feel like since I've done so much for myself, like I would not mind doing stuff for someone else, and. Being able to share experiences with someone as opposed to like, you know.
I feel like that argument is a bit facetious.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, you can say that about a great many things, where it's just like, well, you don't know how good driving is until you can drive. And then it's just, and so that person starts driving, and they're just like, this sucks, and it's expensive, and fuck you, you know, for getting me into this. And it's just kind of like, people do know, you know, what they want and what position they're at without entering into particular things. Well, you don't know how good marriage is until you're in it. This is awful. I hate you for convincing me to
perspective.
It's just like, I know that I don't want kids at least for the next 10 years, because I live in pain. I have enough to deal with. You know, like, I have to figure out how I'm going to get to Finland to be with my girlfriend, or how she's going to get here. And it's just like, I've got enough going on. I have such distaste towards kids and teenagers. That's a long period of time as it is. It's just like, yeah, I know. I know, and I don't need somebody telling me that I'm selfish, which I'm not, by the way. You're selfish if you're having kids, too. Because
it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you have a kid, like, at that moment, what should be happening is that you do nothing for yourself at that moment on for the next 18-some years, because, like your kid should become first.
And also we're already overpopulating the earth, so you're adding to an already large burden. So
yeah, but at the same time, I think the selfishness is like, look at me, I'm having a kid. Like, look at my kid, and I'm extending my genealogy. Like, shut the fuck up.
There's a lot of it's so focused. It's very focused on that person and their family, which they have started, and it's all about them, and it's all about the kid. And there is selfishness in that too. So again,
I'm glad you said that, because I've believed that for a long time.
You said it poorly, so I wanted to make sure it was clear.
I say everything poorly. If you guys don't realize this by now. I'm not a wordsmith.
But yeah, like, it is indeed, like, both sides of it, you know, have their negatives, but I think the worst negative is to tell someone that they're being selfish because they won't have kids.
Yeah. I think you know, our generation, you know, it's changing for sure. You know, our grandparents, you know, would have kids by the time they were 19 years old, and they had 6 kids. Our generation, it's not uncommon for couples to just not have kids, or at least not have kids till their mid-30s. Like, that's fine.
Which is good that it's transitioning like that, because we live in an overpopulated society. So, and
high divorce rates, and then you have, like, kids with 2 sets of parents, and, you know, that's gonna be stressful for the kid, and you're selfish again at that point.
Something.
Yeah.
So,
what was life?
I really, you know, a lot of this just comes down to you're going to mature, you know, like, everybody's going to mature, but you can, man, like,
there's a lot to
I remember one of your breakups where you said to me, I'm just going to go stare out at the lake, man. Like, and I never forgot that. And I was just like, you know, if you could just handle this better, like we would handle this now, you could be just, like, chilling, enjoying some gaming with a friend, you know, enjoying a movie, like, instead of being miserable. Like, and again, it's just like, I remember, you know, like, a few of the girls that I was just so very interested in. I just wanted a girlfriend, man. Yeah. Or, you know, like, the chicks who were just like, oh, but I just care about him so much, and he just doesn't understand. It's just like, no, he just doesn't care. And
I kind of love that one. So it's like, I mean, sadly, it's more with girls and guys, and when I say I love it, I mean, it's just like, I can't believe it. Is like, guy that cheats on girls so much, and the girl's just like, but I love him and he loves me. He's like, no, he fucking doesn't. Like, shut up. That's not the case. I've known so many girls that, like, they date guys that are just such douchebags, and they cheat on them, and they, like, treat them like shit, and they're like, but I love him. Like,
Yeah.
Come on.
It's
have more respect for yourself than that.
I think there's also something that's potentially there that could use some mental assistance potentially, where it's just like talk to someone professionally. 'Cause,
Again, part of the maturing process.
Exactly, knowing when to seek help.
And knowing when to say that's it and
not to point any fingers, but something you recently learned was just that, like, knowing when to just be like, we're not for each other, you know, because most of the time this actually sucks as opposed to like being great.
Yeah.
And that's another huge part of it.
Yeah, and there's overall, like, there's...
And how much time could you have saved if it was just that much sooner? I remember this one chick I dated, I dated for about a month in college, and she was so stressful to be involved with that, like, one time my one older buddy, and by older I mean like he's in his 50s, and I met him through work, but he was very cool to talk to, and we went
now
to
he'd be knowledgeable.
yeah, and we went to Chinese, and, you know, like, typically we just grab dinner once a week or once a month, depending on how busy we were, and she would just play mind games, and, you know, like, what she was doing that day just got to me so much that I just kind of, like, broke down and, like, sobbed for a second right there over my Chinese food. and luckily, you know, like, he was very, like, cool about it. He was just like, talk to me about it.
Probably,
you
like,
know,
put
like,
your hand on your shoulder, like, gross.
yeah, that's what he was just like, it's gonna be okay. And I like, if I had just, like, recognized that, like, this isn't worth anything sooner, like, it would have saved so much stress for the both of us. And it's just like, sooner. it like, what?
But you learn from it, though.
Pain clarifies things. Learning things sooner can just help so much for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of pain in everyone's life could really benefit everyone.
Emotional or physical. Whatever it is.
Mostly the physical, because when you live in physical pain every day, you're just like, reduce all the bullshit.
Stress be gone.
If I had, like, something with some kind of dial over here, I would just, like, hold it up and turn it down and be like, turn down the bullshit.
I got some guitars over there. They've got dials on them,
I
but
don't
I'm not
have
going to get up.
anything. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, like,
rough times ahead, guys.
You don't have to be in a relationship. You don't have to have a kid. You don't have to have a stressful job to say that. All you have to do is just be a person and realize that you have stress in your life and be like, I can just turn this off. Like,
100%.
Sometimes you can't, but most of the time you can. A lot of this shit is self-induced.
A lot of things are out of control, but in those things you just gotta either take them in strides, roll with the punches, or just not worry about them until they needed to be worried about. You know, like if,
I personally feel like a lot is in a lot of people's control. How you spend money, but we won't get into that now. You know.
Yeah.
That's kind of more that's like some really adult responsibility stuff. So
it really is.
Mark, this has been this turned out to be a nice topic.
It wasn't bad.
Kind of a nice like breathe in all the hot air and then just let it go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go exercise and sweat out my stress.
Almost meditating in a way, you know, like just to let it go. So, guys, as we kind of have started to say at the end of our shows, do good things and be just nice, better people. And I've realized completely now that I have no interest in saying the whole like, subscribe, share thing, but I do want to say something along the lines of, I'm glad you're here, and whatever you want to contribute to helping our show and our channel to grow would really make us feel great. So
any kind of feedback, whether it is a like, subscribe, share, or a comment, or just a thumbs up, You know?
Or a thumbs down is feedback.
Yeah, even a thumbs down.
But if you don't want a thumbs down, I'm okay with that.
If you do thumbs down, tell us why, because we're okay with constructive criticisms.
Mark, I think you give the internet too much credit. Next time, I'm gonna say no more talking for you. Okay?
Just sit here and look pretty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's been a good topic. Thanks to those of you out there who do offer constructive criticism and thought, and the thumbs up, the likes, the shares, all that bullshit.
Yes.
So, thanks. See you soon.
Goodbye.